It's time. It's time. Yes, it is time to reveal how shit Herbalife is. Now, for those people that don't know Herbalife, which I'm guessing is zero because it seems like everybody's an expert in this field now, Herbalife in a nutshell is a very calorie-restricted diet. People see it more as a business opportunity than the actual diet itself because people who plug Herbalife generally try and ram down things like shakes, protein bars, pills and potions down people's necks. Herbalife was founded 30 years ago by a guy called Mark Hughes, who sold the majority of products from the back of his car. Fucking hell, alright, Alan Sugar. In 1982, the diet then went international and made $2 million in Canada. In 1988, Herbalife then went to places like Australia, the UK and the US. I wonder why Mark chose those three countries. Maybe because they had the highest rates of obesity back in the 1990s. And what's the best thing to do to fat people? Brainwash them with some sort of shit diet to make them think they're losing weight, but all they're doing is lining the pockets of these corporate companies.
Great success.
Good stuff, Mark. In 1996, Herbalife then managed to make $1 billion. In 2009, they celebrated their 25th anniversary right here in the UK. And in 2011, Herbalife made a net profit of $3.5 billion. It then says here that in 2015, TM Cycles does a YouTube video and manages to shut down Herbalife for good. Now you're all probably thinking, how has Herbalife become so rich and so popular? Now I don't care what anyone says, Herbalife at the end of the day is a pyramid scheme. So what is a pyramid scheme, Tom? Well, a pyramid scheme is an illegal investment scam based on hierarchical setup. So new recruits make up the base of the pyramid and provide the funding, or so-called returns, given to the earlier investors and recruits above them. If you were to type in the Herbalife diet and the pyramid scheme, you will see an array of information and personal quotes from people that have fallen victim to the Herbalife business. There's some crazy statistics out there. I mean, only 0.12% of millions of people that work for Herbalife will end up earning 148 grand a year, while 88% of Herbalife participants will make no money whatsoever. Let's not forget, when you want to take part in this Herbalife scheme, you've got to fork out nearly $3,000 to $4,000 of your own money. Herbalife themselves have even admitted to targeting minorities such as the Latino area. More than 60% of the US distributors are Latino. That's more than 3 times the proportion of the Latino population in the US. Furthermore, 300 to 400,000 Latino distributors will quit this year and they'll be replaced by another 300 to 400,000 Latinos. So if this is unchecked, if no one looks at this, that means nearly 4 million Latinos in the next 10 years will be penniless and out of work. But hey, who gives a fuck? As long as old Marky Hughes is eating dinner in his $1 million mansion at night, then it's all good, innit? Bill Ackman is a billionaire hedge fund manager and he recently bet $1 billion against Herbalife. He said Herbalife that was a pyramid scheme, and due to his recent actions, Herbalife saw a 30% drop in the total share price for that company. We like you, Bill. However, when they did go to court, Herbalife won the dismissal of the lawsuit and Ackman's allegations aren't evidence that Herbalife committed fraud. This is generally what happens when you take a big company that's worth $3.5 billion to court. They tend to hire the best lawyers in the fucking world. And who knows, 9 times out of 10 you could shove the old judge a few million. If you happen to stumble upon their website, the word scientific evidence backing their product seems to be plastered everywhere. Usually when an average Joe sees the word scientific studies on a bottle, they think, oh, it's scientific, it must be true.
Yes, science, bitch!
On their website, Herbalife have stated that clinical trials on Formula 1 shakes and the Formula 3 shake and a new study on Nightworks have further demonstrated the science behind Herbalife products and why they are working for thousands of people around the world. It's funny though, isn't it, when you try and look for that particular study, it's not on their fucking website. If you go onto their Herbalife website and look at their nutritional advisory board, you'll find 2 quite well-known and credible professors. The first one is Dr. Louis J. Ignarro, who has a Nobel Peace Prize in medicine for his discovery of the importance of nitric oxide to the cardiovascular system. The second person is Dr. David Heber. He's a professor at the UCLA Center for Human Nutrition, and his research interests are obesity treatment and nutrition for cancer prevention. Now, why the fuck are these 2 people working for such a shit diet?
Money!
That's right, you guessed it. Ka-ching, money. Most of the people that work for this company are only really concerned about dollars.
Monies!
And that was part 1. Part 2 is going to be primarily on the reasons why the actual diet itself is very detrimental to one's health. So I'll see you for part 2. Peace and love.